Hi, so in this video we are going to continue building the 248 game. We'll start looking at how to draw elements on the screen. We've already seen how to build a rectangle. We'll go through that again and start building the grid and start placing the rectangles on the grid so we can interact with them and using touch to slide the squares up and down. So what we have at the moment, oh, by the way, my name is David. To me, coding is fun. It's a game. It's a game of logic, and it's a construction game. And it's my passion to share this joy and the fun that I'm having coding. And I hope you'll find joy in coding too. And in any case, if that's the case, feel free to smash that like button, and we'll dive right in and start learning how to code this game together. Now we're going to start building the grid in the game scene. Here we go. So this is what we have here. We have the background. We've actually just positioned it. It's not actually even inserted in the group. Sorry, we're actually going to create a group, and that's going to be the inside of our group equals display new group. Now a group actually contains all the objects that's inside and can make all the objects move together. This group we're actually going to insert into the scene group. Scene group, insert group, and now we're going to define three variables. There's going to be the size, which for the moment we're just going to take to be screen width. Screen width. There's the number of columns, which we'll have at 4, and the slice, which is the kind of part of it, which is basically just size divided by cols. So here we're just going to have our background to be size by size, and now we're going to have a loop. Now, how do we write loops? A numeric loop is we'll have for I equals 1 to cols. We're actually probably better starting off at 0. Now we're going to draw a line. Local line equals display new line. That line is going to go from 0. Well, let's draw the range line. The first line is going to go from 0, 0 to 0 and size. So that's going to do a vertical line. Let's just check that. Relaunch simulator. Start. Okay, let's get this background to be a different color. Background display. Set fill color. We're going to put that 0.1, 0.3, 0.5. We're going to put this inside the group. So group, we're going to have the group have group anchor children equals true, and we're also going to put this group in the center of the screen, const half width, and group y equals const half height. So now we have the group which is positioned in the center of the screen. We insert this group inside the scene, add the background to the group in the center, add the lines. These lines, this is the first vertical line. We're going to have to change the color to blue, and let's relaunch this and see what happens. Okay, we have here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to anchor this group in the background in the corner. So background anchor x equals 0, background anchor y equals 0, and so it's not changing a single thing. Wonderful. Oh, I know it is. I actually haven't put the line inside the group here. Start, there we go. And so this is actually starting at 0, 0, but it should actually be I times slice. Sorry, it should be a small caps I times slice, and I times slice, and let's reload that. Start, there we go. Oh, there. Slider, it should be slicer. Relaunch. Start, we have the vertical lines, and we're just going to swap that around to do the horizontal lines. Here it just means swapping around these two terms and the next two terms too. So there we go, remove that. Start, so now we have the square being positioned. We could actually increase the line height a little bit. The line width, sorry, stroke width equals 2, and let's just call this line 2 just for clarity's sake. And line 2 stroke width equals 2. Let's relaunch that. Start, there we go, have a slightly bigger thing. And now what we'll do is create a function which is going to allow us to create a square within the grid. So first things first, here we go. Local function create square. So this is actually going to be called correctly function, and we're going to create local square equals display new group, square anchor children equals true, display new rect. We're actually put that directly into the square. It's going to be position in 0 0. It's going to be slice times slice in size, and we're going to do a display new text, and the text is going to be also in the group, so parent equals group, and then position also in 0 0. Sorry, x equals 0, y equals 0, and we're going to the text is going to be the number, and we actually haven't passed any parameters, so column, line, and number. So this is going to be toString of number. It shouldn't be necessary to do string, but just out of as a question of safety. And then here we're going to return the square, and we're going to position it in such a way that it's depend on the column and the line. So square x equals column times, getting that, times slice, and square y equals line times slice. And so now we're going to also change the size. Local text equals this, local texts, and now text size equals, I think 32 was nice. Return the square. So how now we're going to also change the rect color here. So we have the rectangle set fill color, and we're going to do 0.1 times NB, and probably not a good idea, and 0.3. So here we are going to create the square in the show phase, in the did show. Just do local sq equals create square. So we can create the square here, position it in 2 3, and the number can be 8 16, and this square we're going to insert in the group. The thing is, we don't have access to the group here in this scene because it's been defined as a local here. So I'm actually going to define it in the same way as we did in a previous video. I can't remember when we did it. Here we're going to just do here, just going to do scene, actually, scene stage, I guess, equals group. We can define it whichever way we want, and just to have it under available here. And so now we can just do here scene group stage insert SQ. Let's just try that out and see where that lands. It's probably going to be in an edge rather than slice. Line 34, I've written slice instead of slice. I should pick that up. There we go. Let's relaunch. Start, and it's positioned here because I haven't anchored the square correctly. The square should be anchor x equals 0, SQ anchor y equals 0, because we've anchored this main stage like that as well. Relaunch simulator, start. Okay, other things that are going wrong here. This is not in group, it should be in square. Let's just relaunch that. Start. Okay, getting there. Now, why, oh why, oh why is it not being positioned correctly? Ah, got it here. Anchor. Right, relaunch, start 16. Wonderful. And so I had it positioned, if we look here, second column, third. So it's probably counted as starting, yeah, it's counting at 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. But there we go. We've created the grid. We've positioned the square within the grid, created a function that creates the grid. We actually also created a loop, a numeric loop, which allowed us to iterate from the numbers from 0 to 4 and place the lines. That's actually how we created the grid. And the next step is going to be to start listening to the touch event and getting the direction of the touch going left to right, up and down, to be able to move the squares around. I hope you like this video. If so, feel free to express it by subscribing, by liking. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comments box below. Thank you very much.